Okay, there is a separate specimen we have. Okay, so how we can compute the total taxable income from business? Total taxable income from business. So here, how you can compute is, there is a format, that is net profit as per profit and loss account. So when it comes to company's point of view, you will be computing your entire balance sheet or your profit and loss account as per the accounting standards, correct? But when it comes to income tax point of view, they have their own calculation. As I said, they have their own calculation, what it is. That is what they say, you should do the reverse calculation in comparison to the profit and loss account. So in the question, how it will be given is, they'll be giving you the profit and loss account and they'll be asking you to proceed it. So what you have to do is, in comparison with the profit and loss account, you have to compute the total taxable income from business. Okay, how you can compute this? Net profit as per profit and loss account. So from your profit and loss account, whatever net profit they have given, that you have to consider directly. No need to do any changes, consider directly. Next is, we have to add 3 items to this addition. We have to add 3 items. What are the additions? Inadmissible or non-business expenses debited to profit and loss account. Okay, debited to profit and loss account. So what do you mean by that inadmissible? It is expenses. It is nothing but, inadmissible is nothing but, it is a expenses. Okay, you have recorded in your P&L account, but in the view of income tax, it is not a business expenses. It is not a business expenses. Okay, so such kind of expenses you need to add it. Such kind of expenses you need to add it back. Okay, so how it works, I'll show within a here. 1 minute. For an example, let it be, we'll take this only. For an example, this is our profit and loss account, correct? So how our profit and loss account will work? This side you will be having your incomes, that is whatever by sales. Okay, for an example, by sales 50,000, for an example I'm giving, or by closing stock, okay, 20,000. Okay, by closing stock 20,000. Or now you tell me the debit items, what and all expenses you normally see in your P&L account.
Purchase.
Huh?
Machinery.
Purchase of machinery.
Opening
Okay.
stock.
Opening stock. So for an example, 2,000. Okay, next.
Add
Purchases.
Purchases. Okay, purchases of what? Materials or machinery? Okay. Machinery 10,000. Okay, next.
Raw material.
Returns.
Huh?
Sales returns.
Purchase returns. Okay, so purchase return 10,000. Okay, next is other expenses, for an example. Other expenses 10,000. Okay, and we will be having a by gross profit, right?
Yeah.
So by gross profit, for an example, 1 lakh. Okay, so now you calculate and closing, so total it, how much net profit you are getting in this case? 50,000, 20,000, 170,000, 70,000 plus 1 lakh.
1 lakh.
1 lakh
70,000.
Okay, so now tell me what will be your net profit?
1 lakh 70.
1 lakh 20,000.
1 lakh
20,000.
Very good. So this is how your profit and loss account will be there. Okay, now company says, the income tax says, the capital expenses, whatever you are considering, you can't consider in the profit and loss account. Capital expenses, that is purchase of machinery, it is asset, right? Yes or no?
It is a capital.
It is a capital expenses, right? So you can't consider it. It is a inadmissible expenses. It is a inadmissible expenses. So how you can reverse it? Nothing but you can reverse this in this way. That is, add the inadmissible expense. Since it is a inadmissible as per income tax, purchase of machinery is a inadmissible expenses. So what you have to do is you have to add it back. How you will be adding in the format? You will be adding 1,20,000 plus under inadmissible expenses 10,000. Why we are adding? Because since in your profit and loss accounts you have showed in the expenses side, because of that your profit is reduced.
Getting reduced.
Correct. So to reverse it, there we are
To
adding
add
here.
it back.
Yeah, you are clear in this?
Yes, sir.
You are clear? Any doubts here? Anyone have any doubts? Shall I proceed?
Only like assets only, right, sir?
Yes, sir.
Not only assets, sir. There are many expenses they have given. They have stated under section 35. Under section 35, the inadmissible expense. There are many inadmissible expenses we have. That we'll discuss in the next class. Don't worry. We have separately. We'll show the how you can compute. I have given the some in the LMS content. I have given what are the inadmissible expenses might be. Okay, that also we will discuss, no problem. Suppose for an example, depreciation. When you discuss about a depreciation concept, there are many things to discuss. So each class individually we can discuss. Just a briefing I'm giving here. Okay. So other things we'll discuss when the time needed. Okay. Is it clear? So here purchases, for an example, in other expenses, 10,000. Okay, for your explanation. So for here 10,000. Okay. So in this 10,000, 5,000 was not related to business. 5,000 he has paid to the for the car. Okay, and the car was used. It was not used for business. So what we have to do is that 5,000 whatever he spent it, that will be considered as an inadmissible and which will be added back in the when you are computing. Okay, so our first step is in our profit and loss account. What we will be doing, we'll be finding out which is admissible, which is inadmissible. Okay, from your profit and loss account, we'll be finding out that. Okay, so as per the format, what is that inadmissible? Inadmissible expenses are the expenses which is not allowed as per income tax. So you have to add it back. Such kind of expenses you have to add it back. That is what the statement is says. It's a expenses which is debited in the profit and loss account. That is what it is said here. Any expense excess expenses debited in profit and loss account. Inadmissible or non-business expenses, in layman terms here, non-business expenses, any expenses which is nowhere related to our business, but it is debited in our profit and loss account. Such kind of expenses you have to add it back. You are clear? You are clear? Because of this treatment, my profit is shown at less. Suppose my profit is 1,20,000 as per profit and loss account, for an example. Because of inadmissible expenses, here it is shown in profit and loss account, it is shown less. To increase reverse it my profit, what I have to do is I have to add it back. Okay, is it clear? This concept is clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So next is business income not credited to profit and loss account. Why we are adding this back? Why we are adding this back? Because it's a business income, but you have not shown in your profit and loss account. Okay. By showing this, by adding this, this will help us to increase our profit, right? Yes or no? So that's the reason we are adding here. Any business income not credited in our P&L account. See, in our P&L account, if it is not credited, so for an example, company had a income from business, some business which is 10,000, that they are not shown in the P&L account. In the sales of 10,000, which is not shown in the P&L account. So now what you have, because of not showing this, my profit is only 1,20,000, right? Yes or no? To show accurate amount, I have to add it back. Okay, so that is what a non-business income which is not credited. Credited is nothing but which is not added in my profit and loss account, such kind of income I have to add it back. Am I clear in this? Am I clear? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Next is undervaluation of opening stock and overvaluation of opening stock, closing stock. Overvaluation of closing stock. So now you tell me how this will create an impact in our profit and loss. Why we are adding here? Now you understood little bit of concept right here. Why we are adding back? You understood right?
Yes,
Yes or
sir.
no? Now you tell me that why undervaluation we are adding? Why overvaluation we are adding?
Because it will reduce the profit.
This undervaluation, by undervaluing, your profit is reduced in your profit and loss account. So that's the reason how much our portion is undervalued, you have to add it back. Am I clear? You have to
Yes,
add it back. And overvaluation, by overvaluing your closing stock, your profit is reduced.
getting reduced.
Okay, so that's the reason you have to add it back. We'll see with the example. Let me erase all this. Kindly unmute, sorry, mute yourself. Someone background noise is there. When you are discussing that time alone, you can unmute yourself. Is it clear? I hope that you follow the Jaintian disciplines. Okay.
Ashisa,
Yes, ma'am.
I've muted them. If they want, let them raise their hand. I'll just unmute.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. Fine, ma'am. No problem. Okay. So if you want, you just raise your hand, and if you understood, you can put it in the chat section. Okay. See here. So for an example, my opening stock and closing stock. Okay. So opening stock of 10,000. Opening stock of 10,000 and closing stock 10,000. Okay. In this trading, purchases 20,000. Okay. And here there is a sales of 30,000 for an example. Okay, for an example 30,000 I'm getting sales. Okay, now tell me what will be my gross profit. What will be my gross profit? Yes, put it in your chat. $40,000. Okay, 40,000, and my gross profit is 10,000. Correct. And this will be carry forward for our P&L account, and the calculation will proceed like that. Okay. So now for an example. So here undervaluation of closing stock. So here what they are saying is, sorry, opening stock, undervaluation of opening stock. The stock value, here whatever it is given, it is valued less. It is valued less. Okay. Stop. So for an example, they are saying that 10,000 rupees it is valued. It is valued less. Undervaluation of stock has been done here. 10,000 of undervaluation is 30,000 rupees. So actual value, how much it should be? 11. This whatever they have undervalued, right? So if you add here, sorry, overvaluation, it will be correct. Overvaluation of opening stock. What they are saying, that is the opening stock is overvalued by 10,000, extra 10,000. So if you rectify this overvalued, how much is overvalued? If you rectify out of 10,000, if you minus 10,000 rupees, you will be getting 9,000. Correct. So if you rectify that, my profit will increase, right? Overvalued, whatever I am rectifying, if I am adding, my profit will increase, right? So that's the reason any overvaluation of opening stock we are adding. Okay, overvaluation of opening stock will be adding. Overvalued. Okay. Next is undervaluation of closing stock. For an example, in this case only, here my stock supposed to be 11,000, but they have considered only 10,000. So if I add this, even here also my profit will increase, right? Am I correct? If I add this, my profit will increase here, right? So that's the reason any undervaluation of closing stock will be adding. How much how much ever it is undervalued, that amount will be adding back. Okay, so that's the reason any overvaluation of opening stock and undervaluation of closing stock will be added back to rectify, to increase my profit. Since it is overvalued here, my profit is, suppose if this is 10,000, for an example, if it is 10,000, what will be my profit? My profit will be 10,000, correct? Yes or no? My gross profit will be 10,000 only. So what they are saying, it is overvalued. This opening stock is overvalued by 10,000. So if I correct this, opening stock overvalued value, how much ever it is, the exact value will be 9,000. Then my profit also will be increasing here, correct? So that's the reason any overvaluation, how much ever they are overvalued, that we have to add it back. And next is closing, undervaluation of closing stock. Suppose my stock supposed to be 11,000, but they are valued to 10,000. Because of that, my profit shown is less here, correct? So total 30,000 plus 10,000, 40,000. So you will be getting 11,000 only. But if it is 11,000 means exact value 11,000 means, then my profit will be increased by 12,000, right? 1,000 will increase, right? So that is the reason any undervaluation of closing stock, we have to add it back. Am I clear? Am I clear? Okay. See, that is, oh, I think it is, sorry, some technical error it is. It should be here overvaluation. 1 minute, I'll rectify it here only. One minute. Okay. Explain overvaluation. Overvaluation of closing stock. Here, overvaluation of opening stock only will happen, right? In this case, since the opening stock is overvalued, my profit has been reduced. See, as I stated, my opening stock, it is 10,000. Okay, and purchases I have 10,000, and here my sales is 30,000. Okay, my closing stock is 10,000. So if I total, it is 40,000, and here also 40,000, and I'll be getting a gross profit of 20,000. Gross profit of 20,000. For an example, now what they are saying, that my opening stock is overvalued, valued by 1,000. Overvalued means what? More than the exact value by 10,000, 1,000 rupees extra they have valued here. So if you rectify here, if you correct it, if here it is 10,000, right, which means extra 1,000 rupees they have considered. So if you rectify that, here the value will be 9,000. So by overvaluation amount, if I add it back, my profit will be increasing, right? If I rectify it, correct? Correct. Because of overvaluation, my profit is reduced. So if I rectify that, my profit will increase. So that's the reason any overvaluation of opening stock will be adding back. Okay, and next is undervaluation of closing stock. So my stock supposed to be 11,000, but they are valued here only 10,000. So to rectify, what I have to do is I have to add it back. Correct. If I add back only, I can my profit will be increasing. So since I have added here 30,000 plus 11,000, what will be my total? It will be 1,41,000, and my profit also will be 22,000. Correct. So that is the reason any overvaluation of opening stock and undervaluation of closing stock, we have to add it back. Okay, am I clear in this? Any doubts? Any doubts? Shall I proceed, or you want me to explain again? Please let me know. Put it in your chat section. Am I clear? Shall I proceed? Once more. You want me to tell once more? Yes. Okay. Once again, I'll tell. Overvaluation. See here. In my profit and loss account. In my profit and loss account. See here my, suppose it is 10,000. Opening stock is 10,000. And in the statement, what they are saying is opening stock is overvalued by 1,000. So here what will be the exact value? So if it is overvalued, so you will be minusing. So 9,000 will be the exact value. Correct. Your stock exact value will be 9,000. So if you consider here 9,000, then my profit will automatically increase, right? Will get increased right by your 1,000, right? So that's the reason any overvaluation we have to add it. Okay, overvaluation of opening stock we have to add it, and undervaluation of closing stock we have to add it. Okay, overvaluation and undervaluation of overvaluation of opening stock and undervaluation of closing stock we have to add it back. Am I clear? Naina, you are clear? Since here it is overvalued, we are adding back. Since here they have considered in the P&L account, they have considered 10,000. So to rectify in my calculation, I am adding how much ever they have overvalued, that amount alone I am adding. So my profit gets increased. Okay, so that is the reason. Thank you. Okay, next we'll go. Next is what it is. So by adding this three items, you will be getting a total. You'll be getting a one total. Okay. Next is you'll be minusing less allowed admissible expenses not debited in profit and loss account. Manage here also some technical error. Escape. Discard. Okay. Okay, see here. So allowed admissible expenses not debited. What do you mean by not debited? Which is not considered in my profit and loss account. Which is not considered in my profit and loss account. Such kind of expenses you are supposed to deduct it. By deducting this, what will happen? My profit will be reduced. Correct. I have spent some money. My profit will be reduced. Yes or no? So that's the reason allowed admissible expenses which is not debited. Which is not debited means which is not added in my profit and loss account. So such kind of profits such kind of expenses I have to minus here, so that you can reduce it. For an example, your net profit is 10,000 for an example, and you are adding all this, and you will be getting some amount of by adding all this 20,000 for an example. Okay, and your profit you will be getting around 1,30,000. Sorry. Okay, 30,000. Now you can minus allowed admissible expenses not debited. Any expense which is not debited, you can minus. It's expenses which is not considered in my profit and loss account. Now I'm going to minus it. How much? How much it is? Whatever it's, for example, 10,000. So because of that, my profit also will get reduced. And next is non-business income credited to profit and loss account. Any non-business, any income which is not related to my business. For an example, For an example, casual income. It comes under income from a business? No, right? It falls under the income from other source category. So that's the reason such kind of non-business income, if it is credited, if it is added in my profit and loss account, so that we have to minus here. Okay. Next is undervaluation. So it's just a reverse. By undervaluing, my profit has reduced. Increased. So to reduce that, I am showing here. Okay. So my actual opening stock is 10,000, but I have undervalued to 8,000. So because of that, my profit has shown at high. To reduce that only, I am reducing. So as per income tax, only one thing. They doesn't want excess money from you, and they don't want to leave any money from you. Whatever amount you are supposed to pay, you pay as per the law. That is what. So they have clearly you have to calculate. Okay. So here this is how we'll be computing the taxable income from business. When we do a problem, you will come to know how you can do it in much practical way. Okay. So in simple terms, how you can find out, where you can find out this kind of expense. Inadmissible expenses you will be finding in your profit and loss account, and business income not credited you will be finding in your adjustment, in the adjustments, and this overvaluation also you will be seeing in your adjustment. Okay. And next is allowed. Here this amount you will be seeing in your adjustment. Any expenses not debited, and non-business income you will be seeing in your profit and loss account, and this you will be seeing in adjustment. Okay. Am I clear? Shall I proceed for